for as long as I've known myself, my teenage years, my young adult life into my adult life, I've always had this passion to help kids. And whether that be the athletes that I've trained, and listen, I've been very blessed. I've been able to train professional athletes in my life. But really, the essence of what I felt is that how do I give back to the community? Because everything that we do in both Training for Warriors and Parisi Speed School, because they're interconnected, is built on core values. And those core values involve serving your community, regardless of ability or economic status or anything like that. And how I heard about Connor was my network of people, the adults in my program for Training for Warriors. We would always talk about our communities. And I would always say, listen, I want to do a fundraiser. In fact, when we moved our facility to Thorndale, the first fundraiser we did was for a family, the Guy family, their son who has an undiagnosed genetic condition. They just, again, they lumped them together. And we raised money to get these specialized wheelchairs for him. And as I was talking to more and more people, Connor was mentioned. When they brought Connor up, I'd never heard of the syndrome that he has, Sanfilippo. I'd never heard of it. But however, dementia has been in my family. And when I heard childhood dementia and I started to actually read about it, I just felt through social media then to contact Jenna. And then when I contacted Jenna, and Mike's fine. Jenna talks a mile a minute. So I was excited because she's so enthusiastic. We talked about how do we develop a concept of a fundraiser. And then it just immediately, I felt this connection with both Mike and Jenna, although, Mike's a Patriots fan. I'm a Steelers fan. So yeah, we had a little bit of the friendly rivalry going, but that's okay.
My first visit to Pittsburgh was this past weekend. A+ city.
Yeah, it's a great city. What I felt this connection with without even meeting Connor, felt this connection to help. What struck me about them was for them, it wasn't just about Connor. It was about the other families involved worldwide in this battle. And that's where I said it is like Training for Warriors, like we view these things as it's a battle and you need to be armed. The old Spartan saying, with it or on it. So you either come back with your shield or you come back on it. I was so upset when COVID hit because in Pennsylvania, we couldn't do what we wanted to do inside the facility. But you know what's really cool? My network, when I reached out to them, and some did and some could, some did, some couldn't, they raised money that went into the Save Connor Foundation. My good friends in TFW in Minnesota, in -6-degree weather, because they weren't allowed to go inside their facility, did their fundraiser out in the parking lot.
Tell me a little bit about what these fundraising events are. Sounds like you do them quite often. Knock one of these out every other weekend, or what's going on? Like, how does that work?
We could, there's always this thought process that you'd want to do it every month. There are some TFWs that do that. There are some that do them every quarter. It's really simple, guys. I mean, when you come down to it, it's a workout. So when people come in, there's always the story. You have the parents or you have the people that are involved. They talk about the personal story. And then you get into a certain story about overcoming obstacles. Now, listen, I get very emotional about this because I certified a Parisi staff down in Virginia Beach right after I didn't realize how close it was, the facility, to the shootings at the courthouse. And they lost several members. And I was going down for a Parisi certification. It was so strange because I was wearing a Training for Warriors shirt when I went down. They were having a big fundraiser the night before I was going to do the certification. And they asked me, they said, could you do a speech? Could you get up in front of everybody and do a speech? And guys, I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared for that. But I told the story of saving the seahorses and related it back to the loss and tragedy and how that one person creates a spark. And if one person creates a spark, they're going to ignite a community to stop, whatever horrors in the community.
What can you tell other people that maybe are also interested in helping their community? Maybe they've never engaged these events before. Maybe your methodology is fantastic. Outdoor, able, it's a workout, these things, but not everybody has that kind of business structure. So what are some generic thoughts and then maybe some specific examples of stories you have from your own experience?
Well, I mean, listen, the whole idea is that if somebody is not able to participate in the actual training, the whole fact that they're there culturally from the standpoint of being a part of something greater than themselves, I don't care what business it is. I could be a company filled with 300 insurance salesmen. that if I can be a part of a program, how do I rally the people that are in my business to rally around a more, a fitness facility that's going to raise money for kids. I've seen entire law firms that come to these events, and whether they can do it or not, or honestly, if they can participate at some level and do something, participate in the warm up, just be a part of the story.
So these other organizations are actually using this as team building exercises in their own right in some way, right?
Yep, absolutely. And where it becomes it is definitely a level of team building. We always say this: when you're part of something greater than yourself, how can you fail?